Hello, hello. This is Turkish Films Chess, and we are going to be playing a game of chess. I know, it's very interesting. Very exciting stuff. Let's click the button that gives us a new opponent, and we'll get started. Chess is a hard game. We'll see how it goes. If you guys want chess tutoring, comment down below. The game has started. E4. I play C5. The Sicilian. For those of you wondering, I play this box is for entering your moves in text format, which is something that I used to do quite a lot. We're going to play like it's a Najdorf still. We're just going to stop this square. We can bring our knight forwards, bring our other knight forwards. Oh, don't pre-move that. But the plan is we want to develop our pieces forward. This gives us just an extra tempo, which is why I think probably that's not quite the right idea. I think probably after this f4 is a move he can consider playing to try to push through in the middle and make my queen not so happy. I'm wondering if I can play e4 here, or sorry, e5. I think I can. This stops f4. It also gives me a nice square for my bishop on e6. And if he tries to take my bishop e6, move away with bishop c4, kind of going for like a maximalist approach, I'm pretty sure I have b5 in that position. My dark bishop is going to go to e7, and I'm going to castle. One issue with bishop e7 is if he tries to go over to queen g5. But I think that's not so likely. And here there's actually a temptation even to expand the queen side a little bit and then try to snag a queen, right? Like this is a thing that can happen because he's castled queen side. And so I'm not sure what to play here anymore. He wants to go queenside. That's interesting. His a2 pawn is only loosely defended by the knight on c4. And so queen a5 comes to mind. I do have a hole on d5 that I would like to get rid of as quick as possible. And so I think in the spirit of that move, it probably makes sense to go bishop e6 here. Bishop e6. I'm guessing he wants to get f4 through. So I'm bishop e6, perhaps g3, f4 to re-strengthen it so he really gets that bond in the center. g3 also helps advance his kingside initiative if I castle kingside. So bishop e6, perhaps the move is g3. And he's trying to play f4. f4 I take, he takes back with the pawn. And my center is a little bit weak. Ooh. I think I'm realizing my knight maybe is not so good on c6. And maybe I got baited. If my knight would have instead gone to d7, I don't have to worry about it so much. I'm going to play bishop e6. I'll try to play bishop e7 and castle kingside. I also have one pawn advanced on the king side, and so I can play b5, b4, a5, a4, and he's taking tempo. So we're going to go, I think we have to castle quickly. This helps us castle quickly. I wasn't sure if this is more accurate or b5. I don't know what b5 would accomplish. Playing b4 is not interesting right now to me anyway. I'm going to castle, and I probably f4 is coming soon, I would guess. If not f4, g3, f4. He basically has the h, g, and f pawns. These are rockets. He's going to fire these missiles at my king side. And my king side attack comes from queen going to c7, my rook coming over to the c or the b file, and just trying to knock down his king side. So I think, yeah, okay, so it came early. So the question is, do I take or not take? If I don't take, my bishop more or less gets trapped, and that's not very fun. I can take. He takes with the queen. That puts his queen kind of in an awkward spot. Also notice the only defender now of the e4 pawn has to be pieces. And so b5 comes with third of b4 and then winning the center pawn. I think I can take here. I like that this moves his queen again. I think I can afford to put my queen on c7 here. I think that's a valid move. I would very much like to attack his queen. My knight could perhaps land on e5, taking pressure off of d6. But I really don't like the queen lined up with the rook, so queen c7 seems fairly natural to me. If his knight hops in the center, I just take the knight, he takes with the pawn. Oh, I guess then I lose, so I have to take with the bishop. Then he takes with the pawn, then my knight moves, then I'm attacking the center some more. So I think queen c7 is the move. I don't like that this is undefended, but he can't really attack it so strongly now. I'm guessing knight f3 comes from there, and then we will develop some more. So b5, b4 is the plan. Trying to get that knight to hop center. I guess if the knight hops in the middle like this, I can take with the pawn. Then he takes the knight over here because the bishop's unleashed. So perhaps it might be prudent to drop the knight backwards first and do a little swapperoo and challenge the dark bishop. This would further weaken his kingside. Yeah, I think we're going to do that now. We're going to drop back this way with this knight and challenge the queen in the middle of the board, or challenge the his bishop. So we're going to go this way. Oops. We're going to move our bishop to f6. We're doing a little bit of rearranging here. And yeah, an interesting move perhaps would be knight into d4. Maybe it's not that interesting. I thought knight d4 because if I take and he takes the rook, he's doubling up on the weak d-pawn. I think here definitely the plan has to be rook c, rook fc1, rook fc8. That is not what I expected. If he wants this, I don't care about that. If he wants the light squared bishop, and he can totally have it. I literally don't care. One issue is now bishop f6 actually drops the d6 pawn. So I think a knight has to move into a central position. I just don't know which one has to move forward. I don't know which one has to move forward. I don't think my d knight can attack the e4 pawn, which isn't like weak right now, but may become so. I also have this understanding that opening my queen up, I'm not really pressuring the knight. Yeah, I think it's the backwards one. This also gives my bishop more room to move. We're going to go this way. If he wants this, he can take it. If he wants to slide over and try to threaten checkmate, it's just h6. I like that my rook gets more open. The center will, open up a little bit more. That's good for his bishops. Less good for mine. I could have taken his knight and then queen takes, but I don't really see the benefit of that right now. I do need to play b5 and b4 fairly quickly, I think. Yeah, I like that this stops the queen's attack on the pawn. I like that this shores up the d3 square a little bit more. Yeah, okay. So we have tempo on the queen, which is good. It's a strong characterization. Now the question is, do we want the f file because we have it, or do we want to push forward and maneuver on some other front? I think now is the chance for us to push forward on the queen side, and then he's going to try to attack the e6 pawn. That would make sense. And I'm wondering if rook f6 is the way to go. I'm guessing rook f6 is his plan, and the thing is, my pawn gets pinned. Like, if we trade all the rooks off, his bishop ends up on f1, and his queen is on, let's say, h3, attacking e6. The only way I can defend it is either stepping the king forward, which hangs the h7 pawn, or my queen goes on the c8 h3 diagonal, which means the pawn's pinned. Which is not my favorite. It's not my favorite. But I like b5. Kind of saying there's still... Sure, we've traded off a set of pieces, but we're still... It's still chess. We're still going. And now his knight can't go forwards. His knight would actually be close to trapped, right? His knight would have to go to a4. Yeah, so he attacks it with this. This I don't mind. I think his bishop is stronger than my knight. So we can take. He takes back, and then rook f6. Rook f6 fails. Yeah, rook f6 fails. We have to take. We can't let him have two bishops. I think that much is sure. The problem with rook f6 is he just plays knight anywhere. And knight anywhere is a big problem. Yeah, e5 is a big problem. Now I can't go queen d7 because the knight can hop into d5. I can go back like this. This would work. I don't like that I'm reducing protection. But I think the knight's destiny is to land on e5, sitting in front of the pawn, not letting it advance. I don't want to give up the d5 square again. Yeah, I don't like this position. I don't like my weak e6 pawn. I like that I have two center pawns versus his one center pawn. What? Oh, because checkmate. That's so sad. I didn't see that. So now this, threatening the queen. Takes, and then his knight just goes back and he just won a pawn for nothing. Or takes. Yeah, e5 takes. He just hops back and I weakened my center for nothing. I guess g6 is a move. g6 is a legal move. e5 now is kind of horrible. Yeah, e5 now is pretty horrible. I have rook f7, perhaps? And then he just puts a rook on the line, right? Yeah, I think he just puts a rook on the line. We're gonna have to play like this. This is so sad. I just lose. He got a pawn for nothing. And he gets a second pawn for nothing. Look at this. It's all over. The house has crumbled. We lost because chess is too hard. Too hard. I think we can just resign. Maybe we have a trick up our sleeve. No, he takes the queen first. We'll go here. And we'll try to play a trick up our sleeve like this. And do checkmate. It's not really checkmate. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, I just didn't respect the bishop enough. Didn't respect the fianchetto enough. And the knight came through at just the perfect moment. This is a little bit hopeful. We're doing a thing. We're doing a thing with your pawn. I think his plan was to do this. It's pretty devastating. Yeah, and then I'm just trash. All bad. This doesn't mean, I mean, he can still do it. I'm just out of time and out of pieces. Out of time and out of pieces. If I could teleport my knight, I'd teleport it right there. Yeah, that's probably smart. Let's see if we can break through to grab this anyway. Because he does actually have to like do something. I think this is probably the best. And then how do I actually lose? Just like this, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So we just stop up the communication. The rook is pinned to the queen. Like this probably. And like this. And like this. And this. And this. And this. Something. That'd be my guess for how it plays out. You can probably do it smarter than that though. That's just what I would guess. Okay, he didn't go for that route. I guess we move the queen up then first. Because this is a vulnerable piece. The e4 pawn, he can't let that go. Bishop can't help. Rooks could help, I guess. The queen could help, but then he's kind of going back and forth. And I think the idea here is I have check. He can block with a rook, but if he hides, then I have check, and then he comes forwards, and then I can check. And then he goes back, and I can try smothered mate. Smothered mate. Wow. I think I can smothered mate him. Now he can block with a rook, and there's no smothered mate. Right? That's an option here. But if he runs away, it's mate. Like he can't go this way because he gets smothered. So he has to block with the rook. He can't block with the d rook because then he has no checkmate, and I just take it. And if he blocks with the d rook, if he blocks with the 7th rook, I take it. If he blocks with the first rook, now what do we do? Oh, that's so sad. Wait, does that really work? Oh man, I think we just smothered mated him. That's so sad. Wait, did we really? Check. We did. He's crying. He's crying. Hope I didn't get this wrong. Wow, that's so sad. Well, that's chess for you. That's really brutal. I deserve to lose that game 100%, and he got smothered mated. That's brutal. Chess is hard, and that's a lesson. Oh, wow. I'm pretty relieved that I was able to win that game. I shouldn't have won. When did it go wrong? That's a good question. I think the opening's okay. Maybe against the Fianchetto, my strategy should be a little bit different. I haven't faced a lot of Sicilians like this. Yeah, I haven't faced a lot of Sicilians like this. I try to play Najdorf style, but then he Fianchettos. And so maybe my prep here, this is fine, this is fine. Probably it's combating it early with g6. Probably it's like a g6 move here. Could I play d5? e5, b5 is really nice. I kind of like it. This is, I think, good. Maybe g6? Anyway? No. We have to keep our dark squares together. Okay, and we just castled. We just played regular chess moves. We were breaking the center open. That might have been a little bit premature. Okay, I think queen c7 is a fine move. Okay, and then maybe this is the problem. Maybe knight d7 is inaccurate. Because this idea was that I could switch the bishop and the knight around, but then things happened a lot quicker. Oh, and I abandoned my plan. I abandoned the plan because this pawn was insufficiently defended, right? Here. And it's insufficiently defended because the knight goes back. Here, a better move maybe is developing a rook. Like moving a different piece, right? Rook comes back. Bishop can drop back home to defend this way and this way. So maybe rook fd8 is good. Maybe rook fc8 is good, because then checkmate. Okay, but I have 2 pawns in the center. And maybe here it's bishop f6. Maybe here it's bishop f6. Look at that. Bishop f6. This opens the back lane so the queen can come this way. Right? Bishop f6 vacates the squares needed. Playing this move, now the only way to get there is this diagonal, which is pretty treacherous. So I had to take. And then now, like I said, rook f6 doesn't work. So yeah, I think that was probably what should have happened. I pushed b5 when I didn't need to. There's no urgent need for this. I just like got excited because I saw all these squares. I was like, oh my gosh, the knight has no moves, right? The knight has no moves. So if I play here and here, he has to go to the corner. That's great. And sure, you like he loses a piece in the knight, but he gains a bishop, and that's checkmate. So like, don't do that. And also, the bishop was bad anyway. Like this bishop's not very happy, and I have a weakness right here. I should have seen that I have a weakness, and he still has a bishop that can attack it. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, that was brilliant. So probably bishop f6 here is good. And then when if he plays the same way like he did before, even this rook can come this way. Even the queen can slide over this way. Like, there's lots of choices, I think. Because now I feel a little bit out of control with this like, supernatural move, moving backwards like this. It's very uncomfortable. Yeah, and you can see the issue is that my queen is cut off. My queen is cut off, so that's not good. So the question I guess I'm having now is, would rook f6 have been better? Here, I can take that. He can take back, and then here, and I'm okay. So if rook f6, he just says take the rooks. I slide. He takes. I takes. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I just want to see this one position because I think this is the critical. This and the bishop f6 instead of b5 are the two critical moments. We're gonna look at these and then we're gonna be done because that was such a lucky game. Like he shouldn't have gotten. Yeah, that was just unfortunate. He has to block with a rook at the end. Yeah. So queen c8's bad. Rook f6 was best. Yeah, definitely, 100%. I'm thinking b5 was bad here. And who does it say is winning? It says he's winning by a little bit. It says b5 is fine. Bishop g4, then takes, and queen c8. Yeah, my guess was here instead of b5, playing bishop f6 is better. Let's turn on the engine. You guys have sat through enough of this. Yeah, I pretty much like mentally resigned. That was over for me. And the idea is that now, if he goes this way, we can take, which we should. He takes back, and then now it's rook f e8, or it's queen d. Yeah, queen e7. Perfect. And then I'm actually a little bit nervous about like this. Okay, not right now because you lose a knight, but like, yeah. No, it says it's pretty good here. It says it's pretty okay. So if it's okay here, then why does it say b5? Oh, it's only good because bishop g4. I forgot. So it says we're okay here, which is good. Yeah, you have to take. I think takes, and queen c8 bad. It says rook f6 is best. And now my question with rook f6. 92. Yep, taking the exchange because everyone wants an exchange, and we play 95. Wow. Doubled pawns. Makes my heart hurt. Taking doubled pawns like that. Yeah, I don't know if I could do that. Double pawns seem really tough. It says it's fine. Oh, it's fine because the c pawn's awful. So I'm thinking, how does he get in here with the knight? I'm not sure. Queen b7 attacking e4 is sensible, but it says it's a draw. Okay, and that's chess for you. Thank you so much for watching. Turkish Films plays chess. That's a series on this channel in which Turkish Films plays chess. So thank you so much, and adios. Keep playing chess and keep getting checkmated.